First things first, we need to do some checking. I haven't used this thing for like, I don't know, 8 months. And I do regular maintenance on it, even though it looks like a piece of shit, as you can tell, because normally I forget it exists and I leave it outside. But let's check the oil. This is one of the ones you've got to, I think you've got to screw it in to check it. Yeah, who cares? Are we looking? Oh, she is a smidge low. Let's see if we've got any more. Right, we've got some of our finest bulk store shite. I don't know, can't remember where we got it. Let's take that out. It's only going to need a smidgen. Then after this we'll have to check the blade. Oh shit, that should be enough actually. Let's give that a chance to settle. Put this oil away. Mower oil is fine. Sweet. Now let me just flip it over and take the blade off, and we'll see what that looks like. Alright, we've got it cocked at an angle. Let's do this. Shit. I've had this mower for a while. And I've resharpened the blade many times, as you can see. Yeah, she's had her fair use of filing down. This mower works great. Had to replace the wheels with some off a skateboard, because these ones are for like a 1960s kids toy or something, both back ones. And yeah, again, these are for like a rollerboard, because the new ones are ridiculously expensive and they've got no bleeding bearings in them. Oh, what's the bleeding point of that? Let's have a look. Now, everybody has their own way of sharpening mower blades, getting the angle right and shit like that. The way I tend to do it, look at this. These are balancing welds to try and keep the bleeding thing in balance. Right, okay. Now, the way I sharpen to try and get about the angle okay for me is I kind of try and jam it like this in the vise so it's there. Then I'll just tighten this chuck up. Okay, the way I do it is, sure I did it differently. Anyway, you can see that it's at like a kind of an angle. And then I'll just take the grinder with a flappy wheel on it, and I'll run it along the edge. Oh yeah, that's fine. You don't want it razor sharp, because it will blunt almost instantly. You want it kind of sharp. This here is razor sharp. That is barbershop sharp. But this here isn't. You can see the kind of difference. Like that. I know I'm not doing it right, but it's the way I've always done it. Let me just actually take a bit more off there. Oh yeah, that's much better. Now I'll flip it round and do it again. In the best view, in the way of best YouTube editing. I do got a new blade somewhere, but I haven't done with it. Well, not it's like a used blade. Actually, that's not so bad. Let's just touch that up a little bit more. Oh no, that actually feels okay. I know the angle's to shite, but no, they're actually okay. Yeah, this place is a bit of a mess at the moment. The bleeding rain tore all the stuff off the walls. You come down here, this wall's going to have to be replaced. But no, that's okay. That can go back on the mower. Before I put the blade back on, I'll show you this. This is the blade mounting thing. And as you can see, it's got these little pins here. And as you can see, they've been hammered. They've got flats in them now. At one point in the past, these sheared off completely, so the whole blade was just spinning freely. And I had to take this off. Can't really. Can I show you? I don't know if I can see that there. I had to drill these out, replace them with a bit of rebar, and just weld them back in, and they work fine. The blade even stays centered because this middle bit here is still okay. So we need to put this back on, the blade back on. I'm going to need both hands for this, so give me a minute. Alright, that's back on. It's mounted. Yeah, that's a nice edge on it, and that's got a nice edge on it, that's okay. Let's put some gas in it and see if the bleeding thing works. In the true tradition of all YouTube idiots, I spill gas everywhere. But it's okay now. I'll have a nice little fire under there, I guess. These marks, you can see this one's here and these ones here. That's because the plastic cover that was here, I cut it off with my grinder, and of course I cut into everything, even the fuel tank, and it was leaking fuel everywhere, like a true dick. Anyway, we have some petrol. Put that in there, put this in here. We'll prime her. How many times? I don't know. Doesn't sound like it's sucking petrol at all. Anyway, let's give it a go. You see this thing? Would you believe somebody left it outside my door? Oh, thank you, sirs. Anyway, give this a go. Shit, this is impossible to do with them. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Oh shit, she fired up first time. Oh, second time. Let me just give it a few more goes and I'll be back. Yep, it's working, but yeah, I don't remember it being like that. Bolt's missing, and it was tabbed down because the tab's still there. So it can only mean one thing. Well, two things. Either the bolt snapped and there's half a bolt in there somewhere, or she's pulled the thread out of the head. Not what I needed. It looks like we got, oh, that's probably what I was going to say. We've got an oil leak, but it's probably what I spilled the oil. Let's see what we can do here. Right. I haven't taken this off yet, so let's have a look. Now my hopes is it's actually broken inside, because that means I'll be able to extract it and the threads will still be good. If the bolt is missing completely, I will be less of a happy puppy, because that means I've got to do new threads, and I'm not good at that. I've never done a helicoil in my life. Okay, shoulder bolt. Bit of a, ow, that's hot, ow. And no, there's no bolt, it is missing. And these threads don't look good. Lost my pokey stick, but I did have a pokey stick somewhere, and I put it in and it feels right. This feels threads kind of okay. What I'm going to have to do, I might have another one of these bolts. I don't know. Let's have a look in the parts bin. Parts bin. This is here, one little thing. Unfortunately, I'm not Diesel Creek or ABB or Farmcraft. Got these massive supplies of things. I just have this thing. Oh wow! Oh fucking wow! Oh wow! Seriously, this was not staged. What the fucking chances? Sorry if I'm swearing. Let's try this in Hull. Ah. Yeah, that one's got a bit of a thread. This one, bugger. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I can over tap it and put a slightly larger bolt in. Try and make a shouldered bolt. Or I could try and helicoil it. It's got a bit of a bite on it there, but right at the very end. That's the end. There's one turn out. But no, that won't stay in there, will it? That feels far more solid. Yeah. All right. Let me try and find another bolt. Maybe I can do something here. Okay. The closest thing I've got to this is this, and it's somewhat bigger. As you can see, focus like that. And the problem with this is, if I try to put this into the head, it will intrude into the exhaust valve throat. Yeah, there's not. If I do that, there's not an awful lot of metal there. So if I fuck up, you know, wrong angle or something like that, focus. Focus. Yeah, there's not an awful lot of meat left on the throat there. But to helicoil it, I've still got to drill the bleeding thing out, haven't I? Ugh. So what I might just try and do is, plus this one, the only bolts I've got that's long enough. What I might try and do is, see, I bought a tap and die set, which I've never used. See, oh, there it is. I bought it for a job, as usual, and brand spanking. I'll need one of these. Do I have any blind taps? I think these are blind taps, I think. Maybe? I don't know. Let me just try and find the right one. I'll see what I can do with that. Okay, in the tap and die set I found this tap. This runs up and down nice and smooth. Okay, this is not a blind tap. This is a feed tap, what you call it, where you star holes with. I'm wondering if I can get away with not drilling it, because it's only an aluminium head, I think. When I was abroad, I did buy... Where the hell is it? Oh God, I can't believe I've lost it already. Oh, there it is. I bought a thread gauge set to, you know, measure threads. I've just realised this has got a set in it. I haven't used it before, so what am I going to do? So I will just offer this up to the hole and see what it does. I don't know. Sketchy be thy name. Oh God, I'm really nervous about doing this. Does that look straight? It does want to go in. I mean, it's just cutting its own thread, so I don't know. Should we give it a go? Let me just put a bit of paper in there to stop some crap going inside. Right. Let's give this a go. I'm going to have to use this small tap holder because the big one, this obviously there's no room for me to turn it. Now it's going to rain in a minute, so I'll probably have to quit this in a hurry. Right, do I need to use lubrication on aluminium? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Hey, what's the worst that happen? Have to buy a new head. That's going very easy. Let's back it off. Again, I've never done this before. Let's back it off. I've only done this because I've seen it on this old Tony. Right, I might bottom out in a minute. Let's back it off. This is remarkably easy actually. Back it off. Okay. No, not going anymore. Oh, it's still turning. Yeah, it's hit rock bottom there. That's just solid now. Right. You can see what the tails are on that. Tails? I don't know. What is this on that? Let's just compare that to the depth of one of the original bolts. Yeah, that's about right. So what I'm going to need to do now is blow the hole out. God, I wish I had blind tap. A blind tap is the one without these, without the, where are we? Without these starter threads. It's just the solid thread all the way along each shank. As you can see, this is for the introductory thread starting tap. Right, so let me pump up some air and blow that thread hole out. Alright, hope this bloody reaches. Well, kind of looks like a thread. Right. Yeah, you can tell them because even though my pneumatics leak, with my super cheap Sayers compressor. Right, what's that bolt? Hey, goes in. What you know? Doesn't go very far though. See how far it does go. Yeah, that's not much. I wonder if I can kind of force the thread by tightening it in a little bit. Of course, when this is done, I'm going to have to make this into a shoulder bolt. That should be easy enough. Just try and slip a piece of tube over it. Right, okay. Let's get a... Let me just tighten that up. Right. Let's see. The theory is that this might tidy the thread up to the end of the hole. It's been okay. And it locks off quite deliberately there. Yeah, it's about as much torque as I'm willing to put on it. Let's see if that's any deeper. Oh yeah, it's a bit deeper. Let's compare that to the original. Not quite. The problem, well, is because this bolt, of course, the silver bolt is very slightly bigger than this one. If this would fucking focus. What's happening is, this bolt, of course, is, which is this one, is hitting up against what the tap has done. This hole here is where the tap has done. Whereas this one, of course, is still finding its way into the original hole because the tap hasn't gone that far down yet. Which is good news, because that means I have... I'm looking at this through the bloody phone. I'm looking at this. I have this much more space to play with. So I need to buy a tap, hopefully, what do you call it, a bottoming tap or something, with like the drill bit thing on the end, that can cut away this material like this, so that this hole, god damn, this is awkward with one hand, ends up looking like that. So this bolt goes all the way in here. You know what I mean. That becomes bolt. So I need to buy a tap to do that. Don't want to drill it, because I don't want to drill into the, it's actually the cylinder block, not the head, because it's the side valve engine, of course. So what I need to do is try and find a tap that will do that.